Welcome to My Love of Life Energy. I'm Anna Scott, your host. I love beautiful, rich conversations that reveal the truth, beauty, and uniqueness of each person I meet, and I'm honored to share them with you. Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And I'm delighted to have Annelies Richmond with me today. Welcome, Annelies.
Thank you, Anna. It's great being with you.
So we're all going to learn about Annelies Richmond and the art of living, and she has been a trainer there for 26 years, and it's Sky Camp Happiness, and I'm like, whatever camp that says Sky Camp Happiness, I'm in.
Okay, because you love the sound of happy campuses, right?
Yeah. So what brought you to this work? How did you end up 26 years ago here?
Yes, that's the story, isn't
Or I
it?
think it's even before that, because if you've been working there, you must have been there before, is my guess.
Yes, you're right. It started 27 years ago.
Ah.
I took the teacher training very fast because I was so inspired by it. But in 1999, I was a professional ballerina. That was kind of
Oh,
my
were you
past
really?
life. Yeah. And I had been dancing a while, and I got my dream job at the Metropolitan Opera. And I thought this is great, but I loved the rehearsals and I really hated the performances because I was just so,
Really?
oh yeah, every night was like, oh my God, like so many people and you're getting reviewed, and the next day you get the feedback on the loudspeaker. So I was very, despite having done it for 7 or 8 years professionally, I had pretty bad stage fright or stage anxiety.
Hmm.
And, and also learning to live in New York. I feel like that's its own stressor, living in New York City. Uh, and I was doing yoga classes a few times a week, which my physical therapist told me I had to do, or I won't be able to continue into my 30s, dancing professionally. But I was curious. There was like 1 minute of meditation in those yoga classes, and they were really helping my body, but it wasn't making me calm on stage. So, my friend in my building, I felt like almost stalked me, told me so many times to take this art of living course. Just, I didn't even know this person. And he said, oh, well, if you like yoga, like this is the deeper part of yoga. This is much deeper, like the depth of meditative state and breath work. I said, okay, fine, let me just try it. And I went to this 4 day kind of weekend program, the art of living. The art of living's like part one course, and I loved it. I loved the practice. I learned a practice called sky breath meditation, or the Sanskrit proper name is Sudarshan Kriya, and it was so deep. I just felt I floated out of the room, like And after a couple days, my body pain disappeared. After about 3 sittings of Sudarshan Kriya, and it's not easy for a dancer's body pain to go away. So
Wow.
yeah, that kind of blew my mind because usually you just kind of are always like, ouch. And then I decided, oh, I love this practice. Let me do it for a couple weeks. And after about 2 weeks, I just remember walking on stage one night and I was so calm. There wasn't any, or there wasn't any psyching myself out. I was just like, oh, this is it. I'm just on the stage. No big deal. Like it was like the whole experience changed completely, like my perception of it. And there was no like big stress response going on in my system. And I was like, this is the most powerful thing I've ever learned. I need to learn to either get others into it or learn to teach it. So that was it. I kind of,
Wow.
yeah, that was it. I reluctantly went to the teacher training because I didn't used to like to speak in front of others, but I went ahead and went. Once I met Guru Dev, who brought this practice out like 45 years ago, I was like, oh, this is it. He is the real deal. Like, I want to study with this person. And he told me, go for the teacher trainings. I was like, I'm doing whatever he says, I'm going to do it. So that's what I did.
So did you continue dance or did you give up dance after that?
I did continue dance. That was the cool thing. In a subtle, inexplicable way, I feel like practicing the Sudarshan Kriya gave more longevity in my career because I kept going for 7 or 8 years after that. And I had a
Really?
injury. Like I don't know, I just felt like it helped my body heal. I had had a pretty bad injury, and when I learned it, I just felt like it helped me recover. So I kept dancing, but I also taught on the side. I taught as a volunteer. Like I just decided I'm just going to do this and contribute to the foundation by teaching. So I would teach on the side and dance professionally for 7 or 8 years, and then one fine day when I was invited to bring it into a school in this rough area in Brooklyn, and I said yes, very naively, like, okay, bring it into a school. They had 180 fourth graders they wanted taught, our Art of Living program and the practices. And I'd never heard of any such thing before, but this principal was so inspired by her adult course that she wanted her fourth graders to learn it. And we did have a kids program. So I said yes, and I skipped rehearsals for a week, which wasn't so great. And I brought in other teachers. Anyway, we taught a whole school of this elementary school in Brooklyn, and I saw such a difference. Like the kids, I didn't know 9-year-olds were stressed, but I guess they are and were. And I noticed such a difference in their faces after a couple days. And I was like, I've been doing this dance thing long enough. Like the next season was going to be the same season, same performances. I was like, the only way I can take this to more schools, which seems like it's needed, is,
Oh, wow.
retire from the dance career. So I did.
Wow. So that was really a turning moment. You really listened.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Ah, thank you.
What did you notice with the kids after the program? What did you see?
It's a good question. Yeah, first it felt like chaos because we were in their classrooms, and I innocently was like, well, we're going to do some yoga before the Sudarshan Kriya, so let's take the desks out of the room. Which, if you take the physical structure out of a room for 9-year-olds, I learned the hard way, creates chaos. So they were running, and we were trying to play our mindful games to get them back. And we play games also in our kids program. But eventually we had to put the desks back. But they ended up doing the sky practice at their desks, and they would just rest by putting their head down instead of laying down. But one is the test scores went up, which is what the principal wanted. They had the statewide tests the few weeks after our Sky program, and the test scores did go up. So she was very happy. But the thing that touched me, which I still remember them sharing from like 2004, was you would ask them after the Sky breath meditation, like, how do you feel now? So in 9-year-old language, they would say, well, I feel like I'm in the clouds and like we're having school in the clouds.
Oh my God.
These were like their little explanations of having, gone into this meditative state that was so blissful or recharging.
Oh my gosh. I find it fascinating because I don't know why this story interests me because it does, but it's such a juxtaposition to give up this world that people like to be a principal ballerina and to go into this other world. It's such a testament to the power of the work that you're doing about what's internal.
Oh,
That matters.
yeah.
Like you left the external glamour. This is my story. I'm not saying you did. This is my perception of it.
Mhm.
And really went into this internal world to live it and teach it. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And it speaks to the power of our internal world.
Mm. Yes, it does, actually.
And what's your experience of your internal world that
Uh,
you get to have?
well, I feel like everybody has to have that shift from inside, and in a way, you have to find the right practice. I think in today's world, you have to find the right practice to get that shift. I believe maybe 1,000 years ago, people could just sit in a forest and there weren't cell phones or anything like that. And they could just close their eyes it was probably quite natural for human beings to just go into this nice meditative state. But I think nowadays why so many people say I can't meditate, or they have so much like angst or anxiety going on inside, it's not their fault. It's simply a result of the world overloading the mind or brain of human beings. And it's such a strange and unnatural overload that happens, right? You got to check everything, your LinkedIn, your Snapchat, your TikTok, your Instagram, your emails, your Slack channel. Like it's ridiculous. I don't think we're set up to do that. So for me, when I finally learned Sudarshan Kriya, I think I found what I didn't realize I was looking for. Like I found a way to live in the world feeling more confident in just being myself, and not having so much anxiety or like, ooh, about the future. Oh, it has to be like this. What if it doesn't have to end up like that? And I think that practice itself also helped me let go of the past in such a weird way. I think it makes your mind get unstuck. Whether it's stuck in the future or stuck in the past, it's like unsticky. That's one of the talents of the practice. So I think that created a lot of space inside of me. And I think I realized later on in some strange way through dance, I thought I could maybe inspire people into some other level of consciousness through a wordless art form, dance. Like maybe I can inspire people to feel, yeah, life is big. It's worth celebrating. But I don't know if you can really do that in dance. But I realized that was my original thought as a young person. And I realized it takes more than watching dance for someone to have their mind and inner state transform. So when I learned Sky, I was like, oh, this is it. Like everyone, it's like a human right, I feel like, to learn such a powerful tool that can transform your inner world. So I felt like it's a right. And in a way, I've learned it. I almost have a social duty to go out there and share it, you know?
So what is it that, I mean, you obviously are a woman who understands the power of practice. You did become a professional ballerina without practice. Just like not focus is the word I would use.
Right.
And what is it that you love about this practice?
That's a good question. What I love,
I've been told I ask a few good questions here and there.
you really do. What I really love about it, because now I teach a lot of young people, and I teach in university settings, and I teach this kind of 18 to 28 age group. And what I love about the sky breath meditation is either whether your mind is really restless and you're like, oh, at this level, it calms it all down, or whether you're so tired, sluggish, unmotivated, and depressed, and you're down here, it brings the energy up. So it's like this amazing balance of calm and energy that it brings, which I feel like some practices just bring you calm, but you're like, oh, but now I just want to sit on the couch the rest of the day. Or maybe if it doesn't bring energy in the right way, your mind gets more restless. So to me, it's a perfect balance of calm and energy, which is needed in today's world. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love it. So it sounds very harmonizing inside.
Yes.
Is that it? And what's your practice? What do you do every day
Okay.
with this practice? Like, what is your?
Yeah. I mean, I do a little bit of yoga. Having been a dancer from the past, I feel I need it a little bit. But I do my Sudarshan Kriya or sky breath meditation practice every day. And that has a couple types of pranayama or breathing techniques. That slowly helps settle the system, strengthen the lungs, they kind of balance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I could see how embodied it is in you. The minute you started talking about it, your whole body shifted. I watched your lungs fill up.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then, I do that. And then the Kriya part is a very, very subtle use of rhythms in the breath that gently kind of unwind the system. And then you get into a meditative state very effortlessly. So it's probably my other favorite thing about it is it works for students. Even we have like a 3-day retreat where we teach it for students, and they'll come in and say, no, I can't meditate. It's not for me. I've tried it. I've tried so many apps. And I'm like, okay, fine. It doesn't work, but try this technique and then tell me. Because the breath, with the proper use of the breath, you can retrain your system. You can get so much toxins and impressions out of the system.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. The way you speak about it, your embodiment of it. I mean, it's almost like, I'm curious, when you talk about it, are you doing the practice?
No, if I were doing the practice, I'd be gone. My intellect would be at rest,
But it almost feels like there's so little intellect in it.
It's true. It's true.
Very true.
Yeah.
What you teach, you're the global director of the Sky Camp of Happiness. So tell us what that structure is. What is that?
Yeah. So after I took our Art of Living work into schools, we took it into high schools, and some principals were forward thinking. This is like in 2005 and 6 in New York. They were okay offering our program as part of their phys ed, so it was for credit, And I could see how teenagers, even though they're so embarrassed to do something in front of others, they resonate with the practice. But then, Guru Dev, who's my teacher, and he founded the Art of Living, he started saying, yeah, but what about universities and colleges? He just kept saying that over and over. What about universities and colleges? Don't you think people need this when they're 18, 19, starting out on their own? Once he said it a couple times, I was like, okay, I got it. I got the hint. We need to do this. So we reformatted our Art of Living program to fit into an academic or university environment. And we shifted some things and made more social connection inside of the program, and a little more taking from meditation practices all the way to leadership, so they can make it boost their life. So we started it in some schools, some universities, and it grew and grew and grew over the last 13, 14 years. And now we have it in 170 universities in the US.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's the story that has really touched you by somebody who's been impacted by this? Because I'm sure the file folder is full.
Yes, there's so many stories. A lot of touching ones during the pandemic, because people's mental health seemed to be really plummeting. I had 2 different people, a staff faculty person and a student, who we had to change all our programs to online, which was sad, but we did. I mean, it works online too. And I had these 2 in different programs, and they looked so engaged for all 3 days. It's a couple hours a day, all 3 days. And they looked really into it. It's interactive. You ask a question, they're the first one to answer. They looked pretty good. And both of them shared at the end of the 3 days, when they were sharing their experience, that they were planning how they were going to commit suicide the week before. I was like, what? And they seemed they were engaged. They didn't look depressed, or I said, what? They said, well, the great thing is, after these 3 days, I can't even entertain that thought anymore. I'm not thinking like that anymore. It's out of my mind. And that was so beautiful to hear, that just a few hours, 3 days can just shift someone who's gone into that deep, deep depressive state, right? So that was really beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So are you still teaching, or are you running the program? Or do you do both?
Both. I don't like to step out of the classroom, because that's where the juice is. You're with real everyday people that have come with their real problems, or whatever it is they want to seek or achieve. And then what I love about our program is, in 3 days, it feels like a miracle still, even though I've been teaching it for 26 years. In 3 days, you really see people change. Their face looks different. every course we're like, oh, we should have taken a before and after picture of their faces because they just look so much more happy and free on the third day and less like kind of stuck in their mind or stuck inside themselves without being able to express. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Oh, do people, that's so beautiful. Because what I just felt, and I don't know if it's true, is that what this technique is really offering is the opportunity to fully express themselves.
Yes.
Is that an outpouring of this technique? Like
Yes.
that's what,
Yeah. I find it especially in young people because they could be more held back or have more self-doubt, lower confidence, or even recently when I teach, they're like, oh, well, I went to high school in the pandemic, so they find it a little hard to engage in person. Some of them will share that. I find it a little hard to engage in person, or I don't like to talk to somebody who's I don't
oh,
know,
wow.
like I don't find it energizing. There's a new study out that like older adults find it energizing, Gen Z finds it not energizing at all. But I think it's maybe more the practice of it or not feeling comfortable. So yes, the way I feel like the way our program combines like the practice, sky breath meditation for a few days in a row in a group, and then the way Gurudev has designed it, it's full of social connection and like people are constantly connecting in between practices. So in a way, they just start feeling more comfortable being themselves, which lets them just express themselves, which is so freeing, you know.
Oh my God. One of my wishes is that people get to be who they are because I think it's such a gift.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I just love that that's what people get out of your practices and the kids. I heard this really interesting statistic. I interviewed this man from, I think it's called circling, but he said the statistic of number of hours that people spend with each other, young men are spending like 30 minutes a day, if that, with other people, and they don't know how to relate,
30 minutes a day.
if that,
That's
that
crazy.
in relationship. And so I see what you're offering is a way for people to connect with themselves and then each other in a very
Yeah.
natural way. Is my assumption
Yeah.
correct?
No, you're picking it up perfectly. Yeah. They're able to connect with themselves more. I think that's the first step is actually we don't make them connect much until they get into the practice. Like if you when you sit for your first sky breath meditation, it's like you're kind of peeling away layers of stress, first surface layers, and I feel like it's stress that makes people not feel connected. It's simply stress that makes people forget that they're connected, or
Yeah.
to feel that sense of belonging.
Oh,
You
oh
know,
my God. So what you're doing is having them connect to themselves
yeah,
and really feel themselves.
yeah. Once they connect to themselves, they're like, oh, like all those veils maybe that cover the heart or the mind,
Oh,
kind of. Then they can just be themselves and they can connect to others and they feel, oh, it's easier. I can actually connect and it feels
ah,
comfortable to connect. Or, yeah. And actually, I think
I,
everyone does want to connect, but they think when they're stressed, they're like, no, that's hard and that triggers me, so I won't connect. But which makes
oh,
it draw more and more and more, you know.
well, what I feel is that what I see is it's natural. Like we are connected. And so what's natural, it just begins to happen. There's
Exactly.
nothing to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what's surprising you these days for all this you've been on this journey and you're still deeply interested in this? Like you have a love of this
Yeah.
and you must be still learning and seeing. And what's surprising you these days?
Um, I mean, frankly, I'm really surprised that this is not these practices and this work is not integrated fully yet into education or workplaces. Although it's starting, like you're starting to see workplaces carve out time for meditation or mindful breaks, or airports now
Mm,
have a meditation room, and we've been able to get it to a lot of schools and universities because I think people are like, just give me something to lower the stress and anxiety and the loneliness on the campus. Just they're like, yes, give us something that works. But I'm surprised. I wish we had just had it everywhere. Or when you went to elementary or middle school, you learn this right away because it's like we're teaching we're teaching our young people everything else, but we're not teaching them how to manage their mind and their negative emotions. And it's their mind that goes to school and learns everything, and it's negative emotions that get in your way. And if you have negative emotions, you can't actually learn because it clouds the mind. So I guess I'm surprised that we haven't integrated it faster, bigger, better.
May I ask a personal question?
Yes.
Do you have kids yourself?
No, I don't. I don't have my own kids.
I was going to say, because I could feel your love of children and the way how much you want kids to have this.
Yes.
Like you're such a stand for it.
Yeah, I feel like at one point I just made a choice like, okay, my life will be for like all the kids.
Yeah, that's what I felt, and that's why I was wondering. Like you have such a stand for all these little people.
Yeah, I mean, we have to think about the next generation, how we're handing over the planet. And I even feel when they learn these kind of practices, they become more aware, self-aware, more mindful. They'll automatically start taking better care of the planet, come up with better solutions, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, if we realize what I say is if we realize we're love, which it sounds like that's what people see, is that then you'll treat everything with love.
exactly, exactly.
That's it. We are coming to the end of our time. Is there anything you want to say in closing that
Yeah, I mean, I love what you just said. I would say maybe that's one of the first most striking things I learned from my teacher, Guru Dev, is he has this saying, love is what moves the world. Love moves the world. So if you can give people that knowledge and experience that they are love, then
Well,
they
yeah, once you experience, it's like, oh, that's what it is.
yeah, like I am love, you are love, then they start really living a more fulfilling life, right? They start realizing they can love and take care of themselves, but they also have enough love and energy to take care of others. And I think all of us have that, love and joy increase by sharing.
Yeah,
So,
when I'm filled up, I automatically want to share.
yes, yes.
So my wish is that somebody who's listening to this is a school director and a principal, and that they bring this work into their school. That is my wish.
Ah, thank you. My wish too.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Anna, for having me. It's
So
love
much love.
with you. Much love.
Oh, and where can people find it in case they're listening? It'll all be on the post, but just where do people find more about this program?
So our school programs we have in universities is called Sky Campus Happiness, and the website is that skycampushappiness.org. We have a school program called Sky Schools, so
Okay,
skyschools.org, and that's through a larger nonprofit foundation called the Art of Living. So that's
great.
artofliving.org. You can find.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.